managed to get all A's, taking 5 credit hour over the summer semester as an adult student. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Oh, that's Ritu, and in my channel we talk about everything that I'm learning, I'm exploring, and everything that I'm interested. So let's go ahead and dive into what made me take classes over the summer and how I was able to get all A's. So depending on your college or depending on the university that you're in, summer classes are generally very short. Some summer classes are 4 weeks, some are 6 weeks, and some are 8 weeks. So it totally depends on your university itself. At my university, summer classes are usually 6 weeks. So I decided to take 5 credit hour, which was 2 classes, one being the 3 credit, one being the 2 credit hour class. And I managed to get A's in both of my classes. Now, without taking much longer, I'm just going to go ahead and give you a basic rundown on what I did and what I usually do every semester. I have a diary that I keep. This is my special diary. You can add in stickers. I have a couple of stickers on them, but this is my ride or die when the semester starts. So as soon as a syllabus is given to me, whether that be fall, spring, or summer semester, doesn't really matter. Every semester, every term that I'm taking classes, I always go through the syllabus. And I usually write down things in a time frame of a week. So what I basically do is, so let's see, for an example, for my summer classes, it started on June 1st, right? And then it basically ended today. But my grades were already up, so that was pretty neat. But so my classes started on June 1st. So what I basically do is on the top, I'm going to give you a basic layout. I'm going to even take a picture and then put it on the screen so we can kind of refer to it later. So I basically write the date. So let's say Monday to Sunday, right? So I basically write that date and I write on the side what week it is. So it's week 1. And then I write the name and then the number of the class and everything that I have to do for that class. That includes reading, that includes assignment, that includes quizzes, that includes pretty much everything that I have to do for that classes. And I do that for every single class. Now, yes, it does require a little bit of time to do that, but again, it keeps you so in check because you're planning everything, right? So that's what I do. So I do that for every single class that I'm taking. Now, right after that, what I do is I go to now I don't know what your university uses for email and stuff like that. My university uses Google. So what I usually do is I go to the Google Calendar provided by my university. So I go to the Google Calendar and then I have color-coded every single classes because I love stationaries, I love colors, so I usually color code different classes. It doesn't really matter what you pick, it's your preference, but I usually color code my classes because it's very easy to know, oh, like this class is this class is this, and this is when this is due. So what I basically do is, let's say I'm taking class ABC, right? Whatever the name of the class is. So I pick a color. Let's say I pick green. Now I usually go ahead and on the calendar, let's say a assignment is due today, which is July 24th. So I will go ahead and plug that in, basically saying for my class ABC, this assignment is due, I will go ahead and write that. And I go ahead and do that the same thing for all of the classes that I'm taking that semester or that term. Now, what that does is in the bigger layout of the thing, I can just look at it and I'm like, oh, okay, so that's due. I already know. I already have this thing going on, my written planner, and then I have my digital planner going on. Now, one additional thing that I also do, which really, really helps me is in your Google Calendar, we all have something called task. So task is basically, if you look at your Gmail account, on the side you have your email, and then the task is basically the one that says a check mark, which is blue in color. So what I usually do is for those tasks, I basically create exactly what I'm creating every week on my planner. So let's say for June 1st, what I basically did was June 1st was week 1. And then I basically write week 1, summer semester 2026. And then I decide which class I need to finish first or what assignment is my priority. I go ahead and write that down. So let's say for class ABC, I have a lot of readings to do, a lot of quizzes, and there is exam as well. So what I basically do is that class takes my priority. So I will go ahead and finish that. I don't do everything for that class the same day, but I try my very best to do a big chunk of it. So the next day when I come, I can finish some of the things for the same class and then I can tap into another class. So that's what I usually do. So that is one. Now, you might wonder like, okay, like that just basically sounds like a whole lot of writing and that is taking a lot of time. Yes, it is. It does take time for me to look at my syllabus, look at all the things that are important, and I jot everything down. So what this basically does, like especially if you're an adult student or if you're a normal student as well, life happens, we have a lot of things going on, you tend to miss things a lot, right? Like I tend to miss things a lot. So what I do is doing this kind of keeps me on check. I remember everything that is due, I remember what I need to do every day, and yes, you have to sit down and do things, right? There's no excuse for that at all. But this gives you a very good place for you to just kind of like, oh, this is due here, this is due here, this is due here. I need to do all these things. So you are basically covered. You don't have to keep opening your syllabus again and again, again and again. So that is very important. So that's what I do. I've been getting A's all semester and that's what I did again. Right? So it really works if you are willing to take time a little bit to the side and finish that. Now the second thing that really helped me is time block. Now you probably have heard of time blocking. It really works for a lot of people and it happened to work for me as well. In my calendar, if I open up my calendar, everything has a time for it. Like let's say since I run a virtual fitness studio, I have classes throughout the day where I'm teaching clients. So what that does is like I need to have a better structure where I can sit down and study. So what I basically do is I block chunks of time. In that chunks of time, these are basically something to keep you accountable. Now, just putting in the calendar, making it look pretty is not going to do the work for you. You have to do the work, right? So if something is in your calendar, that basically means you have to sit down and do it. And I know life happens. I know things comes up. When it does, that's fine. You need to be able to navigate it, right? So let's say like you have to go somewhere very urgent, but it was a time for you to sit down and study. You need to make that up, right? So time blocking really worked for me. I know a lot of the time it works for a lot of people as well. So try doing time blocks as well. Now the next thing is mindset. Mindset is very important towards when you're working towards any goal, whether that be finishing school, whether that be getting a job, whether that being trying to be financially independent, whatever your goal is in your life, mindset really, really matters. Now, something that really helps me when I am sitting down and studying is to really just think about the next thing that I'm doing and not really get overwhelmed by these big stuff that is right in front of me. I don't really think about everything that is in front of me, like the big things. I try to look at the thing that is just right in front of me and I try to chip away. So it's chipping away, consistently working really helps. And on my desktop, I have a sticky note, and in that sticky note, I have written, one by one, you can do it. That's what I've written. So like it's something that kind of like helps me to snap out really quickly. And on the side, I have drawn like a stairs. It's not the most like visually appealing stairs, or it's not the most visually appealing quote at all. But again, one by one, you can do this, right? It's such a good reminder for me that I can do this, I can do this. You have to remind yourself that you can do it, because during the semester, there will be times, goodness, there will be time that you are going to be so overwhelmed by life. You're going to be so overwhelmed by things that are due. You're going to be so overwhelmed by the things that you have to read and study. You will be overwhelmed. That is given. But In that moment, you have to remember that you are doing this and there is a bigger picture behind all of this. So you have to keep pushing. So again, if you get overwhelmed, take a time like to maybe go for a walk, maybe go eat your favorite food. Take a break, but break doesn't mean like, oh, you don't touch your books for days. That will really set you back. Consistency is another thing. Even if you don't want to study, you have to sit and study, right? Because again, as an adult student, we don't have luxury and all that time in our hand to just kind of waste time away. We don't, right? So you have to take advantage of all the time that you have. Now, I know I don't have children, but I know that a lot of the adult students, they have children, right? So even for people who have children, like kudos to them. I don't know how they do it, but they're still making it happen. So for adult students who don't have children, guys, we got this, okay? So we have to keep doing. So let me go ahead and recap one more time. You want to make sure that you have a notebook. Buy a notebook, go to Dollar General, buy a notebook, and then write down each week what you have to do. Then go to your calendar, then find the colors that you like for each classes and write when things are due. Thirdly, you're going to go to the task within the Google Calendar, and each day you're going to allow yourself to do something for the classes that you're taking, right? So maybe you do 2-3 assignments, maybe you do a couple of readings that day, but every day do something. Another thing is time blocking. Block time to study. That is very, 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 very important. And then you need to have a positive mindset. Be persistent. Do not give up yourself. Do not give up on your dreams, because these matter. Education matters, right? And last but not the least, we got this. Be consistent. Show up for yourself, and everything is achievable. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching my video. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe it. It helps me to keep making new videos, and it also helps small creator like me. So again, thank you so much for all that. In my next video, I will be talking about the 2 classes that I took over summer and what I learned in those classes. But till then, bye everybody. Thank you so much for being here.